Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 8th, and right now we are taking a look at the mid-level water vapor loop. Look at the upper level low here, helping to funnel some of this moisture from east to west across some of the Pacific Northwest. And this is very deep moisture here. Some of these thunderstorms can be dropping some heavy rain in short duration, leading to some flooding concerns across the area. We'll take a look at these details and who can expect what coming up here. We are going to cool down a bit across some of the Pacific Northwest with a lot of this cloud cover, but we should bounce back this weekend as well before potentially cooling back down again next week as a trough tries to move on over the backside of the ridge into the area. This is looking at the Affordable Home Weather Station, the Tempest Weather Flow, all solar powered wireless. Click on the link below to save 10% off. You can see the map here. You can scroll around and click on other people's stations. Maybe we can get somebody out there in Burns or Riley to buy one of these stations here, fill in some of the gaps. Smart integration on these stations allows them to talk to each other, and you can click on each one of these individual stations here and see all the data. Now, anyway, current hazards. Look at all the flooding concerns we have across Montana, Idaho, and Washington. More on that here coming up in a moment. But first, National Weather Service Spokane talking about Thursday and Friday here. The heavy downpours, mainly through the early afternoon and evening hours, Thursday and Friday. This is outdoor lightning safety, National Weather Service Medford here. This is a great graphic here, just reminding you that no place is safe outside. Go into a shelter or inside a car, you're usually safe as well. So when thunder roars, go indoors. This is excessive rainfall potential across portions of eastern Oregon as well. Take a look at some of the models. They have some pretty big totals out there also, but watch out here when these storms start dumping heavy rain. You got to watch out for that flooding potential. This is National Weather Service Missoula. Thursday and Friday, wet. Turn around, don't drown. Watch out when driving into those flooded roadways. Now take a look at this day one excessive rainfall outlook. Includes a lot of Montana into the Idaho Panhandle. Slight goes into eastern Washington and Oregon. You can see the marginal all the way up towards the Cascades, including the southern Oregon Cascades as well. And this, of course, is due to those thunderstorms dropping heavy rain in short amount of time here. And this is flash flood potential within any 25 miles of a given point here. So pretty stark flooding conditions setting up here with some of these thunderstorms. This is day two, again with the slight that does include northeast Washington, and again, day three does include some of Montana and on and through Idaho as well. This is a percent of average precipitation, so still, for some of these areas, this rainfall is beneficial here. We're just hoping we don't get, the flooding concerns aren't going to be too bad here. It's hard to predict exactly where it's going to flood because it's kind of hit and miss with the thunderstorm activity coming through here, and of course, the short duration and the heavy amounts of rain can cause some pretty dynamic localized flooding. Here we're looking at SeaTac, 87 degrees yesterday, just 3 degrees off that record high set back in 2003. We're going to cool back down a bit today, but we could still be up towards the upper 70s here. So another nice day coming up here. Tomorrow should be more cloud cover across the region here, and we're going to cool down a bit more before bouncing back this weekend. We'll take a look at those temperatures here in a moment. This is day one thunderstorm outlook. You can see the severe weather just across some of the Dakotas here and down through Texas, but we do have that thunderstorm threat across eastern Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. Day two, something similar there. Might include some of the Cascades of Washington as well. And day three, a little bit similar here also. And you can see some of the severe weather returning to Oklahoma and Texas. Here we go, NAM 3KM, high resolution model. This is the 12Z run. This is what the Doppler radar may look like. And you can see some of these heavier showers rolling across Oregon, Idaho, Montana. And you can see, some of these are really dumping some pretty heavy amount of rain. These could be prolific lightning producers as well. So that's why that excessive rainfall outlook does exist across a lot of Montana as we go through the evening hours tonight. And then you can see some of that trying to spread west of the Cascades here. So cross your fingers here across western Washington, southwest BC. Maybe we can wring some rain out of this as we go through the day tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Maybe even a lightning strike will make it west of the Cascades. And then you can see as we go through Saturday again, you can see the heavy rain setting up across Montana and some of Idaho with these thunderstorms redeveloping there. Now taking a look here, a wider look at things here. This is European last night's run. You can see the ridge across Canada here, helping to bring that forest fire smoke down in towards the Great Lakes and New York yesterday with this big low pressure that was out there funneling that smoke perfectly down into New York. But here across Pacific Northwest, kind of still under that influence of that ridging, but you can see this low pressure system here, the circulation is counterclockwise and it's clockwise around this ridge here. So that's why we're funneling this deep moisture from east to west across the region here, and hopefully that can get out west of the Cascades a little bit. Ridge redevelops here, according to the European, as we go into towards this later this weekend. Then you can see another trough kind of coming down the backside of that ridge and maybe cooling us down back towards seasonable temperatures here. We'll see what kind of effects that has. We're looking a little bit far out, as that's 144 hours there. That would be Tuesday night. Now we're looking at daily 2-meter max temperature. Look at Seattle 78, Portland maybe 80. You can see still some 90s out here across eastern Washington and across the valley there of Idaho. But we do have a lot of cloud cover, so some of these temperatures might not be completely accurate here. They may be suppressed a little bit more. Now, as we go through tomorrow, you notice the cool down for Seattle, probably 70, maybe low 70s, a little bit warmer for Portland, pretty typical. You go through Saturday, you start to bounce back again, mid-70s for Seattle, 80 for Portland there, and then you bounce back even further there on Sunday, up towards 80 for Seattle, maybe upper 80s for Portland there, and quite warm across some of the valley areas east of the Cascades as well. Monday, look at that, maybe mid-80s again here for Seattle, up towards 90 for Portland, some 90s as you go east of the mountains as well. Tuesday, drop back down a little bit there, and Wednesday, Thursday, you can see maybe that trough bringing a little bit of cooling here to the Pacific Northwest with some more onshore flow. But we'll watch that as we go. No promises just yet. Now, this is kind of what the whole weather drama was about here. This was just issued today by climate.gov, June 8th. You can see it there. And basically what I was talking about is this Walker circulation is kind of reversed from La Nina during an El Nino year. And you can see this deeper convection sets up a little bit closer, or at least the Walker circulation does, closer to the west coast of North America. So I was talking about this subtropical jet, if you watch some of my California videos there, potentially being enhanced here. And this is what they're talking about too. So kind of nice validation there from what I was seeing in the pattern here and kind of the underlying argument here with the weather drama recently. So it was kind of nice to see that there. You know, it's kind of a typical thing when El Nino develops. Of course, you get warmer water here and you tend to set up a stronger gradient in this area. So it's enhancing the subtropical jet stream there. So nice to see that put out there by the climate.gov organization today. But anyway, we'll watch this as we go. Tomorrow, we'll look at this in a little bit more detail and see if we can get a thunderstorm or some rain west of the Cascades coming up here. We'll check out the flooding again here, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast as always, as it looks like we might be in for a nice weekend here and on in through early next week. But we'll look at that in a little bit more detail tomorrow. Hope you guys are liking these videos. Click on the link below to save 10% out on one of those weather stations, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.